guys had to bet, let's make this interesting. If you had to bet $5,000, who would you bet on? Tyson or Roy Jones Jr.?
Oh, I don't know.
I only know Tyson.
I don't know the other one because I don't really follow the sport.
Have they? True. Tyson's a good pick though.
They were supposed to fight, but they never fought.
So who is Roy Jones Jr.? Yeah, like who?
So we all know Mike Tyson. He's the Hangover guy, right? We all love that guy.
That's how we know him?
Yep, that's how we know him.
So
He bit someone's ear off.
To compare the two, Mike Tyson is an annihilator, right?
Yeah.
Roy Jones Jr. is this guy, like he's the one that does like the craziest, like he
outclasses people.
boom, like he has like the craziest technical shit you've ever seen. He makes people look like never boxed.
Did Tyson ever wrestle the shark?
Oh yeah, whatever happened with that box?
Oh, that was just Shark Week, right?
Yeah.
Wait, was that really the thing?
Yeah, we did a JK News on it, but when we did it, it was before the event.
I think it was more of a joke.
Oh, okay.
For Shark Week, like Discovery.
Doesn't Shark Week mean period time?
No.
What?
Well,
How
yeah.
bloody he gets?
Wait, what do you mean?
Shark Week, I thought that was code.
Well, it's like, yeah, because there's blood in the water.
Is it an ant flow? Wasn't that what they said?
They say a lot of things. On the rag, ant flow.
Exactly.
Do you know
On the
the
rag sounds worse than saying I'm on my.
The odds actually,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you know the odds for
rag is
Tyson
gross.
versus Jones?
If guys
Yeah, like what?
had it, we would call it bleedy peedy.
Bleedy peedy.
Bleedy pee-pee.
Bleedy peedy.
Oof, bleedy pee-pee.
Oh, Tyson is minus 350 favorite,
Oh, of course.
What does that
and Jones is
So that
plus
means you
160
win more
underdog.
if he does win.
Yeah,
And so Jones is the underdog.
so like for every dollar you get $350
So
or something like that.
if he's negative, what is he? Negative 350.
Negative.
What does that
So
mean?
you have to bet if you want to bet. You have to bet $350 to win $100. If not.
Oh, that's how it works. Okay.
And then if it's Roy Jones, what's his odds?
Plus 160.
Please plus 160. So you bet $100 and you win $160.
That's how it is. So it means Mike,
So you make more
Mike Tyson
money
is the
with
favorite.
if the other one wins.
Yeah.
So usually what it is, it's like Vegas is usually pretty spot on. So if that's the odds that they set, that means it's a pretty good chance that Mike Tyson is probably going to win. And that's who I'm kind of leaning more towards.
Tyson.
What makes you think Tyson's gonna win?
Just the way I think Roy Jones fought a little longer, you know, and he got some
Like a longer career?
longer career
Some more damage.
later in his life.
Who's older?
I think
Tyson by 3 years.
But they're both over 50?
They're both over 50. Yeah.
so. I think Roy Jones has a little more miles on him, not by much, but it's I think enough where he took a little more damage than Tyson did.
Do you think they both have CT though?
I think at this point they will.
In the grand scheme of things, I'm pretty excited about what's happening because like a lot of these fights with like these like legends, when I was a kid, I didn't get a chance to watch them. So like I think this is supposed to be like the first like kickoff of seeing like legends resurface and fight. So if you missed Tyson in his heyday, here's a chance to see Tyson versus Roy Jones. There's also another like, and then it might start off like Holyfield versus someone else.
True.
And like all the people that you missed growing up, you get to see them come on. And I think they're even bringing it to not just boxing, but like seeing Iverson play again. You know, like seeing Allen Iverson play, I don't know, Scottie Pippen or some shit. Like it's. Well,
Does it make
Are
you
you mean
sad?
like you didn't watch it as a kid? Because we were around when
but
they were
I didn't order pay-per-view or.
And you couldn't like rewatch it the way you can now. You know, like you didn't really know. Like if you missed the pay-per-view, that was kind of it. Unless they had like replays and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
because I remember the Holyfield fight, but I mean like I was.
But that was like massive pop
get
culture
it.
news though.
That was like later on, yeah.
And then also now, if it wasn't a COVID, this would be a spectator event. So now in the future, if this is successful, you can watch Iverson play like in person, like all the greats that you wanted to see in person.
True.
Like you can see all those legends.
Does it
across
take
sports.
away though the fact that they're a little older and you're not really seeing them
Not them
at
in
their
their
prime,
prime.
right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there's like, I mean, Roy Jones known for his speed and elusiveness. I mean,
and it's not going to necessarily translate.
Is it going to be the same?
Because you're going to always wish, like, man, after whatever happens next Saturday, you're always going to be like, man, what would have happened if both these guys were fought each other in their prime? Because they were supposed to, you know.
But it's better than going to a Vegas impersonator show.
Yeah.
It's like you're going to the Vegas Britney Spears experience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like it wasn't her heyday, but it's still Britney Spears.
It's still Britney.
And you still could pretend that it's 2002.
That's a great analogy.
That's actually really good. Yeah. But it's gonna be good enough where it's like when you watch Mike Tyson train, you're like, man, this dude still fucking got it. When you see Roy Jones train, you're like, this guy still got it too.
Mike Tyson looks vicious right now.
Yeah, I think if you had to compare both of them, just like based off how they look movement wise, I think you gotta put the money on Tyson.
Because the amount of violence he's showing, it just looks like the killer's back.
When you hear him talk about it, his mentality is very like I'm just gonna go out there and kill. Like he's thinking like that, and that's the Tyson you want to hear. You know.
Well, he said he was afraid to tap into that and on his podcast, and now he's tapping into it.
Exactly.
He's very competitive.
He blamed it on his wife. Because he said his wife told him to lose like 15 pounds, and he goes, you know what happens? I go try to lose weight, and then he was like, he started doing the treadmill. He's like, just do 20 minutes a day. He goes, 20 minutes turned into 2 hours, and then now I got a fight coming.
Yeah.
Oh shit! 20 minutes. I didn't want to do it.
Yeah, 20 minutes on the treadmill every single day, turned into 2 hours a day, turned into a full fight camp. He goes, it's my fucking wife's fault.
You know, it's funny because like during this whole like build up, you see Mike Tyson being like funny, and you see him like you see him as like the most vicious guy in his boxing career, right?
Yeah, but he's like the most relaxed ever.
Yeah, and then as the fighting career stopped, you see him like be really funny. He's doing roasts. He's in
Have you
fucking
seen his
The Hangover.
podcast?
Yeah, I hear it's really good. He does the one-man show, right? So you see like, oh man, he's finding different avenues, which is kind of hard for fighters.
He's a goofball, yeah.
Exactly, but then now you see him turn back into the fucking murderer again.
Flip the switch again.
Yeah, that's what it
I
kinda
wonder if
is.
she's like, fuck.
Yeah.
I just wanted him to lose that gut.
Probably.
She was like, I miss the old Tyson.
Reignite the flame.
This is the man I fell in love
He's
with.
back.
And then you see the recent one with him and the pigeons?
No, I didn't see
Yeah, he was playing with some birds or something.
Oh, I think
Because he has like a hella
that was really
pigeon
funny.
click.
Does he still have a tiger?
Probably.
I don't know.
He has a ranch now. Like a weed ranch. Weed ranch.
A
yeah.
weed ranch?
Yeah. you
Oh,
go there,
well, his whole
smoke weed.
podcast is him smoking,
Yeah,
right?
it's called the Hot Box, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That reminds me of in John Wick, when what's his name is on the roof with all the birds.
Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah,
Lawrence Fishy Fishburne. That's the same thing. But yeah, man, I think it's gonna be a crazy fight. And then I think Jake Paul's fighting too, right?
Yeah, Nate Robinson.
Nate Robinson.
That's so weird.
Who's Nate Robinson?
He's a former NBA basketball player, and then you have like a YouTuber. It was just, I just didn't see the connection.
Yeah.
It's just
I guess they were talking shit.
like Logan and KSI. I see the connection. You know, it's like both like YouTuber in the same space. It's like we're this random NBA guy, and then
Because I think he just left the NBA, right?
Did he?
Or a couple years ago. So I think he's looking for an athletic pursuit, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna make some money. If he can make a couple mil off fighting a guy like Jake Paul, because I think it's professional too, right? So it's like 6 rounds for now.
Well, I think it's exhibition.
Exhibition,
So it's not
got it.
a pro fight. Like even the Tyson Roy Jones stuff, I think like it was only 2-minute rounds.
Got it. But best believe these motherfuckers are trying to knock each other out.
ooh, so scary, dude.
As a fighter, Nick.
Why don't you ask me as a fighter, dude? That's fucked up, man. Shit.
Okay, fine. Bart, as a fighter.
I'm not a fighter.
How would you guys prepare against Tyson? So obviously Tyson's the favorite, right?
Oh, like if
If you're in Roy Jones Jr.'s shoes, yeah.
Plan out your funeral.
I was gonna say, measure yourself for your casket.
if someone offered me like
Getting CT and broken ribs for sure.
What's the
if
price
someone
tag then?
offered me like $2 million to fight him, and now my training camp, I
your
would.
death?
It would just be all like dodging movements and just fucking running around.
Dude,
and
my D is not even gonna be close enough to be able to deal with his
Stay
hits.
like 3 feet away at all times.
His hit, I will block. I will fucking block and get a concussion.
Yeah.
For real.
Or maybe that's the way out. Just start off like this, boom. Oh, thank God.
Or you cover up like this, and then he punches your body, and then you go, ah. Or you trip and fall on the way to the
I
ring.
like the tripping one. Yeah, yeah,
And then
yeah.
you just hold your knee, you're like, oh man, it's torn,
Or you just
dude.
pretend to be knocked out. Like, okay, so he swings and you pretend you got hit.
He misses, and he just falls.
The possum technique, dude.
Or just jump on him and bite his ear.
Yeah.
And Holyfield's like, yeah, get his ass back.
That's what I want to see is a Holyfield Mike
He's like,
Tyson.
save me that piece.
I know.
That's what I want to see.
How would you train, like, to seriously fight him? What would you do?
And say you're what, like 6 foot, right? Like
Yeah,
you're
I'm like his
relatively
size.
his height.
Fuck, dude.
He looks like he's 240.
Work on some. Make sure my cardio's on point.
You're trying to gain
And
weight
just what's up?
to be like more like.
Just to make sure you could last, and because you're going to be doing a lot of running around, you're going to do a lot of circling, you're going to be moving your feet a lot, so just a lot of footwork. Fuck, dude, I don't know, man. Just Tyson is a motherfucker, man. Like, it's hard. It's really hard to think about.
How do you prepare for survival?
But I feel like if somebody could make this fight very interesting, it's a guy like Roy Jones, right? But his mobility and his movement is probably going to be his way of keeping him off, because he is he has a very high boxing IQ. He has really good finesse. So I feel like, if anyone's going to do it, it can be Roy Jones.
I've been watching Mike Tyson's younger fights, like when he's 13 and 14, and he was already a killer.
Yeah.
Like his 13-year-old would beat the fuck out of me right now.
Have you seen what he looks like? Bro, him at 13 years old, he's like, oh, that's a grown-ass fucking man.
Yeah.
Really?
And he's beating the fuck.
Just sick.
He's like 5'10", 180, 190 at 13.
Oh, shit.
And he's already beating the fuck.
Have you seen those Olympic fights that he did?
Bro, like, he used to murder him.
I was like, that doesn't even look, because you know how like when they box in Olympics, it looks different from when they box professionally.
Usually guys don't get like knocked down. Like that. And he was like knocking. Look at that
people have
headgear.
gear on, yeah,
And it's
knocking
hard.
them
It's a lot. It's not impossible, but it's a lot harder to like knock somebody out clean like that.
There's this guy he fought like right when the bell rang, like you could see like, I think Mike Tyson got the wrong signal, so he rushed towards the center of it, and the ref's like, no, we haven't started. Like he was like a raging bull.
Yeah.
So he blew the whistle and he came out and he just started going crazy. And after about 30 seconds, the opponent's corner threw in the towel.
Even though he
didn't even get knocked down. He was just like, he was just like, this guy is too violent.
I feel like Mike Tyson's greatest weapon is his mentality, for sure.
Yeah.
Because he lives like, I think people don't really understand the reality of violence. You know what I mean?
Eat you.
Like he really embodies that. He personifies that.
Oh yeah.
And to like the scariest degree. Like this, they have stories about how he would get like he would lose sparring rounds in the gym and in training. He would go in the restroom and cry, and then come out and then just knock the guy out.
Oh fuck.
Damn.
Oh fuck.
and to
Like, what are you doing there? Don't worry about it.
you ready? And he goes out and he just beats this fucking poor guy up. It's like, dude, like I don't know what you do against that. Like you better have the same mentality. You better be ready to die if you fight that guy.
There's no light sparring with him.
No, fuck no. Fuck no, dude.
Let's take it easy.
Yeah.
All right.
You're being a sparring partner.
Oh, dude, fuck off.
Yeah.
No
Have you
way.
seen him hitting pads and being the fucking pad guy? I feel so
Yeah, I
bad.
think of his elbows and I'm like, oh, this poor guy, dude.
But did you see him interview Eminem on his podcast?
No.
So I sent you the link, and the moment I saw it, I was like, send it to Nikki. And then Nikki was like, I already
You
seen
brought
it.
up Eminem multiple times today. Like, are you a
I
big?
did?
Yeah.
You don't know.
I don't know. Are you a big Eminem fan?
I mean, I'm a casual
Have
listener.
you ever met Nikki? You've never met Nikki, have you, Nick?
No, I don't know anything.
That's literally all that we know about.
No,
I'm just-
Really?
But when Eminem's getting interviewed by Mike Tyson, he's like, that's how I would be being interviewed by Eminem. Like he's like a.
Like was it when
on edge?
he was out of his element?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he was just like, oh my god, it's Mike
He's
Tyson.
like my idol. Yeah.
Have you heard even Joe Rogan with Mike Tyson? So like Mike Tyson would say something that's relatively funny, and then Joe Rogan's like, and he goes, that's not supposed to be funny. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that.
Did y'all see the clip where Tyson basically punks this rapper? Some rapper said something about like there's something misogynistic or something like against the LGBTQ community, and then Tyson just like puts him in his place, like you don't say shit like that, and this guy just crumbles on the hotbox.
I would too.
Good for him.
I would literally shit my pants.
Damn.
You don't want to get on that guy's bad side at all.
Fuck no.
You want to be the nicest guy ever to that guy.
If he was like, Bart, are you gay? I'm like, yeah.
I can be. You're like, I
Do you
can't.
want me to be? Do you want me to be? Is it?
I could do whatever you want.
What do you want me to do? And you start crying. Just tell me what you want.